Good morning. Pardon the sniffles. As you know, I just came back from vacation a couple of weeks ago and I still have a bit of a cold. Gotta love traveling. Changing climates just does wonders for your sinuses. Today we are talking about grief. Now, when you think of the word grief, we think of the standard losses. The loss of a loved one, a family member, a best friend, maybe even a pet. There's more to it, a lot more to it. Do you realize when you end a relationship, you need to grieve the end of that relationship? You lose your job for whatever reason. You get laid off, you quit, you're terminated. You need to grieve that loss. You lose a pet, you need to grieve the loss. If you're diagnosed with cancer, MS, if you're in, God forbid, a car accident, and now you're in a wheelchair, you need to grieve that loss. That change, that's going to change your life forever. You need to take some time and grieve this. People don't think of these things. I want you to sit with whatever you feel. We all know it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. It's fine. If you're sad, sit with it. God, I am so sad. Think about why you're sad. I miss the laughter. I miss the fun times. You think of all those wonderful memories and you get teary and you cry, and that's good. That's okay. Keep in mind, those memories are always going to be locked in your heart. They're always going to be here. No one can take those away from you, okay? They're going to be here. You may get angry. People who are diagnosed with a chronic illness, a terminal illness, they get mad. It's not fair for my life to be disrupted like this. I was in the middle of college. I was in the middle of a tournament. My career is on track and I'm doing so well, and now this. It's okay to be angry. Do not be destructive. Do not be self-destructive. Don't take it out on yourself. Don't take it out on anyone or anything. But it's okay to feel those emotions. It is fine. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, 9 years ago, trust me, I was not happy. I was not happy at all. When I got the initial diagnosis, okay, we can deal with this. I was working full time. In my little Brenda brain, I have everything. I plan everything out. I'm an over planner, I think. So, I go to work, I have chemo, I go home, I'm sick all night, and then we repeat the process. We got this. Yeah. Then I went for a second opinion because, as we all know, always get a second opinion. And the surgeon said, Brenda, sweetheart, the girls have got to go. You need a double mastectomy now. The cancer's now in both breasts. Wow. I did not expect to hear that. I went to my car and I cried buckets. I got my best friend on the phone and he cried with me. It was big. It's life-changing. Grieve what you're feeling. Grieve the loss. It's okay. It's fine. Feel what you're feeling. It's okay to turn to others and to open up to them. Let them comfort you. Let them receive the blessing of comforting you. Because if you're like me, if anybody ever needs you, you are right there for them. Let them be there for you, okay? That's important. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Try not to isolate in your grief. It's very easy to do because you just want to sit with yourself and kind of lick your wounds. Been there, done that. I do want to tell you that children grieve differently than adults. We all, will grieve in our own way, in our own time. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. Don't let anybody tell you different. If they have an issue with how you're grieving, have them call me. We'll talk about it. As long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else or anything, you're fine. But a child, honey, a child needs to talk. They need to know it's okay to express their emotion. It's okay to cry. It's okay to miss the person. Maybe they're grieving because you had to move. from one community to another, one state to another, one country to another because of work. It's okay for them to be sad. It's okay for them to miss whatever they were leaving behind. It's okay. Let them talk about it. Let them cry about it. Let them write about it. Let them draw pictures about it. Let them sing about it. Whatever's going to work for them, encourage them. If they come to you and say, I'm sad, say, let's talk about it. Come, sit down. Crawl up in my lap. Why are we sad? What's making you sad today? What do you want to talk about? Do not tell them, oh, you're fine. This is hard on all of us. Don't say that. Don't shut them down. Don't tell them to get over it. Do not tell them tears aren't going to change one damn thing. You tell a kid that, I will come find your ass. Do not shut a child down. Anybody that says, get over it. Anybody that says, crying isn't going to change anything, I guarantee you they were told those words as a child. And they need to step back and remember how that made them feel. How it made them feel about this tall. Like they don't count, they don't matter. Don't do that to a child. They matter. Their feelings matter. As I have said for eons, from age 0 to age 10, 12, those are the foundations, those are the building block years. You are teaching a child how to deal with stressors, joy, happiness, sadness, grief, death, anger, frustration. And they're going to carry what they're learning through the rest of their life. These are the tools you are showing your child, that you are sharing with your child. In our family, this is how we deal with grief. In our family, this is how we deal with frustration. Don't teach them, it doesn't matter, that you don't count. Your feelings don't matter to me. Suck it up. Don't do that to a child. They deserve better. They deserve to grieve. They deserve to feel however they're feeling. A few years ago, a family came to me. They had seen countless doctors. This lovely little boy was having very serious stomach issues. I mean, serious. The doctors were treating him with tons of meds. They were looking at doing exploratory surgery. They couldn't get to the bottom of the problem. And all the tests kept coming back negative. They were frustrated. Nobody knew what to do. So they were referred to me. Okay. I talked to mom. Okay. I need to talk to the kiddo. I talked to the child. Beautiful little boy. In a 2-year period, this lovely child had lost his grandpa, who was his best friend, his grandma, who meant the sun, the moon, and the stars to him, and his dog in a 2-year span. The family was very stoic. They kept everything to themselves. Now we know why the little boy was having stomach issues. He was grieving himself to death because in their family, we don't talk about grief. You just suck it up. This little boy didn't need to suck it up. This little boy needed to know it's okay to cry. This little boy needed to know it's okay to talk about grandma and grandpa and to miss his dog. So I worked with the little boy. I talked to mom. Told the referring physicians, of course. Light bulbs were going off. Well, we should have thought of that. Well, you didn't. I did. It's resolved. Little boy's doing great now. Let people grieve. Please let them grieve. Animals grieve. We all know of people that have had their pets and the person dies and the animal lays at the grave. Maybe you have 2 pets and one passes and the other one stops eating. It's just mourning the loss of their best friend. My cats did that. I had a cat, Bella. Bella was a rescue, and Bella had been horribly abused. And my secretary got her for me. I don't know what she was thinking, but she thought Brenda needed a cat, and she knows I love animals. So, okay, I got Bella. Well, then she brought me another cat, and that was Emmy. And Emmy and Bella had a unique relationship. I cannot say friendship. Bella had never been around other animals. She had been horribly abused her entire life. She didn't know how to purr. She didn't know how to be happy. She just knew how to growl and hiss and be angry. So she would come up to you and growl and hiss, but that's in her way, that was a purr. It was just Bella. You had to get used to it. It was fine. And Emmy, being her little cat sister, liked to just be a pain in the butt. You know, she'd bite her tail and just be a little sister kitty. Well, Bella ended up with lymphoma and was very, very sick. And eventually we had to have her put down, which was very sad. And Emmy was glued to my side. Emmy wouldn't eat. All Emmy wanted to do was be glued next to me and to be held. Totally understandable. I went through that for like 2 or 3 weeks, waiting for her to start pulling out of it. And I talked to my vet, who's a good friend of mine. And Pam said, you know, I think you just need to get another cat. So I got Milo. And that fixed everything. Of course, then Emmy was getting the abuse that she had given her sister. You know, Milo was biting her tail and being a stinker. But it pulled her out of the grief. Animals grieve. People grieve. Respect the grief. Let them grieve. Be nurturing and supportive. Don't be critical. Over holidays are tough. We just had Father's Day. That's really hard for a lot of people who have just lost a husband, just lost a dad, a grandfather, a father figure. That's hard. Cut them some slack. It's okay. There were several people yesterday I reached out to because they had lost, in the last 5 years, they had lost a father figure in their life or a husband. How are you doing? You doing okay with this? Anything I can do. Be supportive. Be nurturing. Our older community, it's hard. Maybe they've lost a spouse. Maybe they're retired. Maybe they're having to move out of their home into an assisted living facility. Maybe they're having to move in with family. Honey, that's a huge loss. When they lose the ability to drive, when they take their driver's license, that is horrific for a lot of people. That's taking away their independence. That hurts. Keep that in mind. Grieve the loss. Don't tell them to get over it. Don't say, well, I'll drive for you. You can call an Uber. That's not what they need to hear. They need to hear, I am so sorry that you're going through this. I know it hurts. I am sorry. But you're going to be my co-pilot now. You're going to give me directions because God knows I'll get lost. Even if you know exactly where you're going, let them be involved. Give them a purpose. Be supportive. Be nurturing. Be caring. Be kind. We all have to face grief in our life. Let's do it the right way. Let's be supportive of each other. We can do this. And if you need me, I'm always around.